Good afternoon, everyone. This is RAND. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, March 30, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. No matter if we are conscious human beings or not, the mind is constantly judging ourselves, other people, this world, and anything that it can get a hold of. It was created with this master-like judgeaholic power. You can judge anything in milliseconds. You may not have realized it yet, but probably in the last several minutes, it has passed 10 judgments on yourself, someone else, or something in the world around you, or as either good or bad. It's perpetually busy working away at labeling life, and this workaholic is a slippery gremlin to catch because we are so accustomed to this mind judging everything in this life. It's as if we've been soaking our hands in warm water for 25 years and we didn't realize that it's completely wrinkled and about to fall off. It's like everything. We don't know it. We're so used to doing so many different things that we aren't aware that we're doing them. You want to make sure that you are relaxed into your body in a comfortable position with no outside interference. Still as a statue, focused on your breath rising and falling. So it's always labeling. You ever notice that? It's a labeling something in life as either good or bad, but not both. It's a one-sided viewpoint of existence, which separates and divides, interestingly, manifests only when we are living up in the head and are disconnected from our heart. So look at the planet and watch and look at the civilization. What do you see? You see massive numbers of us disconnected from the heart and fully immersed in the head. When we are living from the heart, the mind cannot judge because it's not there. This occurs because the heart is free from duality, and the mind can only exist in duality. So I guess you could call it polar opposite between the heart mind and the ego mind. So the duality, seeing black and white, the heart cannot get hooked in whatever the mind believes is only good or only bad. When the heart is leading the way, we are free from the perpetual prison of the judging mind. Why is it that the majority of us are not in the heart mind? Because we don't know how. We really don't. We don't know how. Totally oblivious to it. Now, to be free from judgment. Now, you look at this planet, there's a lot of judgment. There's a ton of judgments. Judgment, 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 judgment. We choose to drop out of the head and into the heart. Now, see, the mind will become quiet and very still. And from this space, we can watch our mind closely and see just how slippery its judgmental habit is. We can see how it tends to avoid what it deems as scary. And it often believes that if I get what I want, this is good, and then I will be happy. And then if I do not get what I want, then this is bad, and then I will be unhappy. So the more enlightened path, however, is understanding that in this great, divine, supreme, all-intelligent universe, and it doesn't say, a lot of people believe that, no, they're not going to get it all. We're going to get it all. We always, always, always get both ends, both sides of the coin. Can this be avoided? Well, you can, as I've said before, many people are afraid to look on the other side. Why? Well, because it's an unknown, and it's fearful, and it's actually, you're being mastered, your master is the ego mind, so you're not going to go there, period. It's like when you're in a conversation, so I say, hey, why don't you look at the other side of this? Look at the other side of the coin, and you get both perspectives, and the yin and the yang. Most of us will not do that. We will look at the one side, and that's fine. You don't need to care to know anything else. I'm not going to go anywhere else with that. I'm fine with it. And we do things, and we actually do them unconsciously. Most of the things we do are unconscious. We are not aware that we're doing them. That might sound strange, but just for a moment, just take a look at that. Observe it. And you'll find it to be pretty spot on. See, when we get to a point or a level of comprehension, and the more often we practice seeing, feeling into, and accepting how we always get what we want and what we don't want in this life. Now, I'm not talking about when you focus on what you don't want, you're going to get what you don't want. Now, when you focus on what you want, or what you believe you want, like, say, a lot of money, right? So you get a lot of money. It's great. It's fantastic, phenomenal, wonderful. But what's the other side? What's the yin and the yang of that? Well, you've got all this money now, and you've got to figure out what to do with it and how to what? Protect it. And who to trust. And who not to trust. That's the other side. So a lot of us won't do. See, we get it, and then we start to go, wow, I didn't really think about that, and I didn't realize this and this and this and this. It isn't negative. It's a comprehension of both avenues. And the I don't want doesn't have to be destructive or horrible. It just means that I've got to look at both sides of this. See? So now I'm aware. And when we embrace both, we begin to naturally live every day in deep harmony with existence. We become vulnerable to existence again. And this wonderful humility, we can feel the great perfection of life. And we deeply accept that this existence is the expression of the highest intelligence, and that the good, bad judgment plan is the smartest plan available from God to create a spiritual awakening experience inside every being on this planet Earth. So I challenge you to see if you can find a single situation, being or thing of this world that is only 100% positive and does not also have the tiniest hidden negative byproduct within it. There's always the other side of the coin. There isn't just one side. And I believe that we all know that, but we don't often choose to look at both sides. And this is about freeing ourselves from the judgment habit. And we can do this by looking deeper into ourselves and accept any judgments we may have. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Some more than others. It's like, too fat, too short, too ugly, too poor, too dumb, too smart, too much in my head. But you welcome them all that you have about yourself. And just don't reject, avoid, or judge them. See them for what they are. They are one-sided judgments that you have about you. And when you can truly see and welcome the judgment, it will have less energy and magnetic pull on you. In a matter of minutes, the contracting hard feeling around the judgmental thought will lessen, drop into stillness, and you will become truly free from it. See, once we truly learn, not just superficially, once we learn, comprehend, we are not this body, and we reside in heart-mindedness, then this stuff all melts away. See? It disintegrates. You kind of picture, remember in the original Oz, the Wicked Witch, right? Green, and when she became no more, she was talking about melting and melting and melting away, and she melted away. Kind of visualize that with all of these things that we are loaded down with. Problems, situations, stresses, anxieties, fears, all kinds of stuff. Every day, it's just constant. Some more than others. See, once we embrace the things we run from, okay, we run from things. Now, do we do it on purpose? Most of the time, no. We just aren't interested in engaging. But it's still there. It's still there. You know it's still there. Now, the opposite of what we normally do would be to walk right up and embrace, full body hug, embrace it. And then you basically say, what do you need? And you find that it just vanishes. So many of us, because of how we've been trained, it is true. It's how we've been programmed. It's the best word for it. We've been programmed. All this information that we assimilate and bring in that is coming from the outside. It's the parents and the friends and family. It's throughout this life. It doesn't end. It's not like, okay, it's not going to. No, I'm not going to have it anymore. It's constant. How we perceive, how we view, what we believe, what we don't believe, all these things. And what's the solution to that? To choose to reprogram ourselves. Forgive, surrender, let go of all that stuff that we've been programmed with. See, when these bodies are young, so to speak, we're just, it's kind of like an open vessel and everything starts being dumped into it. Okay? We don't have a comparison. We don't have anything to compare anything to. So we just take it all in. And on top of it, the subconscious mind is our recorder and plays it back randomly at times. How do you think or believe that a lot of people may feel and say that they're never good enough, that they can't do anything right? This is repetitive, right? After welcoming that judgment and feeling for 5, 10, or even 20 minutes, feeling it, something in us will exhaust itself, release the contraction, and wake up. And this smaller, more enlightened aspect inside us will sneak in and perceive that on some level we are doing everything right and we are totally good enough. And when we welcome judgment, the judgment pendulum soon swings, and this allows us to know what perfect peace feels like. Now, there's a lot of people, quite a lot of people that may think that always welcoming and acknowledging both the good and the bad in this life is just some boring, fatalistic, nihilistic, uncreative path that only leads to a state of apathy. Actually, that's not true. It's quite the contrary. It's true. By learning to accept and welcome all of it, not pieces, not just over here or over there, but all of it, we find that we are truly okay with everything that is and feel a more spacious quality within ourselves. And then we feel we have more time to develop our ability to expand consciousness, relax into our lives. How many of us are relaxed into our lives? Interesting question, isn't it? Do you know? Relax. Ask yourself, how much am I relaxed into my life? See, and then from this expanded space, we dramatically increase our manifesting vibration. We deepen our state of inner peace, and we become a magnet for the most amazing life situations to occur. Most of us won't welcome that. We fight it. But you will find that the welcoming process is extremely powerful because it leaves nothing out. It comes from a deep spiritual place inside of us that is saying yes to the totality of our existence. And we are just not interested in fighting, proving anything, or resisting this life anymore. Instead, we move and feel totally fluid like water, without resistance, force, or control. And in this state, it's so easy to realize that God is everywhere and in everything. It is this deep, welcoming mind that creates an enlightened mindset, where we actually feel, see, and understand the divine perfection of life. We become more interesting people as we stop wasting our energy trying to negate others, ourselves, or continuously be upset with the way life is. In a mind that is free from all judgments of ourselves and others, we naturally appreciate it all. We can see that the glass is half empty and half full at the same time. We can feel this infinite empty universe all around us, and also sense how the sun is always rising somewhere on this planet, sharing and radiating its brilliant light. Living in the enlightened mindset is like floating in a sea of orgasm, waves of deep cosmic opening to joy. Happiness, appreciation, and ecstasy can actually waft through our body at any time. When the mind is not occupied with judgments, we have more energy to make more love, explore our spiritual nature, and taste the freedom that exists at the core of our being. And when we can live daily in this enlightened mindset, everything inside us changes. All the previous pain we've been carrying seems to have mysteriously disappeared. We can naturally and fully relax into our divine balanced nature. What I find is the most interesting aspect of all is that this judgment-free, enlightened mind is our most natural state. It is already inside us and exists at the core of who we are, and at the seed of our consciousness itself. We can only experience it directly, however. When we have respect and reverence for the perfect balance that exists in everything, and when we acknowledge the divine balance within every situation, being, coincidence, accident, belief, memory, an atom throughout this universe, we can open it up. The more acceptance we have that there's always good in the bad and bad in the good, something deeper inside us lets go. We can finally relax into our deepest spiritual experience of this life. And when the mind calls off the search for defining and redefining what's good and bad, we have an infinite reservoir of creative energy to surrender fully to our soul. Because light in life is not just about cultivating a deeper relationship with our mind. It's about getting beyond the mind. And when we master our mind, we no longer live in fear. When the mind falls from its altar, we rise to the summit. As we learn how to drop into a perpetual state of surrender, allowing the greater intelligence of this universe to run the entire show, we see how every precious moment in life has this bigger universal force behind it all. In seeing this, the mind totally gives up. And we realize that we have become the perfection that exists within everything. And with enough awareness, we can totally stop the judgmental mind habit and wake up from the addiction. Because it is an addiction. Then we will know what real freedom is like. And nothing else will satisfy more than this freedom. And this true freedom is free from all forms of pain. It is the greatest experience of this life. This means the mind can slip back into clinging to delusion and desire. And you do not. The mind might cave, whine, yearn to be free, yet you know that you are the one behind it, who is actually already free. You remain the watcher, deeply detached and liberated from the mind's antics. It's the greatest, deep, eternal loving of all when we realize that we are not our mind. This is a constant discovery of really, truly finding out for ourselves who and what we really are. And you might look at these as obstacles, or they're actually enriching experiences that give us a comparison. It's no different than looking at a hot and cold surface, but you don't know, right? You don't know what hot is. You don't know what cold is. You have no clue. You really don't. Until you either get burned or frozen. Then you... So that we can zero in on the emotionality of life. And this allows us to pick up and embrace and interact with who and what we truly are, which is the God, which is pure consciousness. It all leads there. This is why all of us are on this eternal journey. And when we're in these bodies, we are creating. We couldn't really create the way we do in physical material world when we're outside the body. We're not. It's different. It's very different than us living in this organic form. There's not words to describe what it really is like. In the physical material world, we can discover many things, learn many things, and discover who and what we really are. Because there's a comparison. See? You're in the body, but you're not the body. Okay? So what is it that you are? If you're not the body, what the heck are you? You're a ball of brilliant cosmic energy that's contained, that is in eternal bliss 24/7. That has no fear, no anxiety, no worry, no stress. None of it. And this is, see, it is interesting because we start, that's what we are. We get in these bodies, we don't remember who and what we are. So what do? Well, we discover it. We discover it again. Or rediscover. And we find out that, okay, so I am an omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant being that never dies. The body's temporary, but it allows me to do so much. On the material physical plane, we're able to compare, interact, feel in a vast array of all kinds of emotions. And we learn. And we experience. It may seem at times that you aren't learning because you may repeat things or you may do the same thing again, but you are. We're always moving forward. We're always advancing. It's the mind, the ego mind, that convinces us that, hey, you stay here, safe here. You don't go out there, don't go there. Don't take risks. Don't do this, don't do that. That's right, this is wrong. And so we get into a habitual. It's like a drug. We're constantly being seduced by the drug, which is the body and the physical material life. And we really don't know it. Isn't that ironic? We're not clear on that. We're not aware. We do it, 24/7, but we're not clear on it because it seems like that's what we do, right? That's just life, and this stuff here is everybody, And we're operating, okay, on a belief system that is completely false. But we create it for ourselves because we believe it. Isn't that wild? So we're in this material physical life, and we're embracing life and doing this and doing that. But it isn't the truth. One might say, so we're living a lie. Not really living a lie. We believe in something that is not true. And we live that. See? We believe in something that's not true, and we live that. We live We experience. This is why so many times, in lifetime after lifetime, we feel certain, there's pressure here, and there's a pressure there, and there's a little bit of lightness here and there. And so we kind of do our best to maneuver it. Because we're tricked all the time. We're constantly being tricked. Ego mind tricks us all the time. And most of us are looking for what? What are we seeking? What is everybody on this planet truly, when it all boils down to it, what are we seeking? Happiness. Not short-lived, but happiness genuine. Our natural state of being. Yeah, we have happiness, and then it fades out. Then we look for something else to make us happy. When all along we have the power just to decide out of the clear blue, I'm going to be happy today. Period. And this is why I'm sharing with you that the life that this civilization experiences is false. But since we believe the life that we're experiencing, to us, it's truth. And this is why so many things are kind of like juxtaposition. They're not in symmetrical order. Everything's miscombobulated. You might have the cart before the horses over here. You might have a wheel off over here. And it's piecemealed. You know what I mean? So we have these disruptions along the way, and a lot of the times we don't know how to connect them. We don't know how to connect it because it seems so sporadic. And then we start figuring it out and unweaving it. And we discover for ourselves. Because this is the only way that this civilization is going to flourish. Look right now where the civilization is at without judgment. And the civilization is at a very, very sensitive place. Is it in its natural state of being? Oh, no, not even close. And the more of us that begin to embrace that, and we're the only ones that have the power to shift it. Really, we're the only ones with the power to shift it. We don't shift it. We live it. We experience it. We believe the lie to be the truth. And that's how we experience these lives. Some of us along the way find out a lot of it. It's exposed. And we don't do it through anger, frustration, disappointment. We look at it and say, okay, I get it now. So I'm over here and not over here. So in the quiet time of this meditation, knowing that, embracing it, that you believe, what you believe, okay, is what you live in this life or any life. So doesn't it make sense that if you were programmed and you had no comparison whatsoever for several years, and then of course you develop in that element comparisons, but yet you never knew that it was untrue. But you lived it as being true. Isn't that wild? It's not negative. It's a discovery. It's an awakening. And so we began to lay the groundwork to live a life in truth. That you're an omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant being that never dies. That's truth. Okay? What's the one that we believe in that isn't truth? That you're weak. That you're ignorant. That you don't know how to take care of yourself. That there's many things where you're stupid. All those things really is what we believe. Many people believe these things about themselves. Judgment, right? And they believe in it, but it's the lie. It isn't the truth. And this is why I say that you focus on what? What do you focus on? You focus on what you really are. Deep eternal love, bliss, joy, happiness. An eternal being that never dies. And you are a being. You're not the body. But you're grateful for the body because you're able to experience so much in material physical life. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return close out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out through the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body. Focus on your breath rising and falling. The basic struggle of your life in its essential nature is divine. Respect the struggle and it will relax. Then you will see the real beauty of your being. Notice today what it is that you are continuously struggling against. Take 3 minutes. Let go of any agenda you have that is causing any sort of internal battle. No matter how important it seems, explore what it feels like for a few moments to be free from it. Releasing is an absolutely effortless process. There is no efforting and letting go. Just set the intention to release the struggle and let this universe handle the details. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, the following morning. We will return here Monday, March 31, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest the purest purest eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.